Well, it's September 1st, and you know what that means? It is back to school time for a lot of people. Today, I'm going to be talking about moving out on my own and my first year of college. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around. Well, hello everybody. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're returning, thank you so much. My name is Blemmy, and I'm a 35-year-old woman living with spastic diplegia cerebral palsy. My goal of this channel is to shed awareness on people living with cerebral palsy, physical disabilities in general, and to be a community for those who also live with the disability. Okay, so I don't know about you, but September 1st always has me feeling nostalgic. I love back to school time, and I've been seeing a lot of first day of school photos and whatnot of my friends and their children, and I'm feeling kind of left out. So I thought today I would do a quick little video on back to school, my first year of college, and moving out on my own. Please stick around to the end of this video. I will be sharing with you lots of photos from that time in my life. Okay, let's get started. I want to take you back to the year that I graduated high school. We need to go all the way back. We're going to go back. It's probably farther than some of you think. I graduated in 2004. So just for a little bit of reference, in 2004, there were no smartphones. I had my little iPod mini, a little flip phone. There was no delivery services like Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes, DoorDash, things like that. Grocery services, non-existent. I did telephone banking. The movie of the year was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Usher was #1 on your radio. President George W. Bush was the President of the United States, and Prime Minister Paul Martin was the Prime Minister for Canada. As you know, I am Canadian. Okay, so we take you back to 2004. I had just graduated high school. I am 18, and I am dying to get out of my house. Like, dying. Like, I am the person who probably at age 13 or 14 literally had a countdown going on my wall. 1,000 days till I can leave home. 800 days till I can leave home. I literally had a countdown going. I wanted to get out of that house like you wouldn't believe, for reasons that I'm not going to get into today. So, needless to say, I was ready, or I thought I was ready, emotionally. Well, I thought I was ready at 18 to flee the nest and to leave home. I grew up in a very small town in rural Alberta, Canada. Maybe there was 80 or 90 people in my graduating class, and I had aspirations and dreams of moving to the big city to go to university and start my life. So I graduated high school, and I was on my way to Edmonton, which is the capital city in Alberta, for those of you who don't know. And I was starting my educational journey at a place called Grant MacEwan College. At the time, it was a college. It is now a degree-granting university. But back in 2004, it was a college to start your degree. So it is right downtown Edmonton, which then, and probably still now, comes with a whole host of problems when it comes to finding a place to live. At the time, the residence for the school was being built, so it wasn't ready yet, and I had to find an apartment to live. Now, unique challenges to me to find a place to live, criteria had to be close to the school because I didn't have a car, and of course my mobility is and was limited. So we had to find a apartment that was close to the school, which, if you know rental prices and apartments in downtown anywhere in a big city, it's expensive. Um, but luckily for me, my parents were willing to and were able to sacrifice that money for me to live directly across from my school. Stick around to the end of this video and you'll see some photos of where I lived and whatnot. So I ended up living in an apartment building called Square 104, which now, if you look at my before and after photos, at the time my view was a barren landscape. And now, if you were to look out the exact same window, it would be the Edmonton Oilers' new arena, Rogers Place. How exciting would that have been? Oh, could have just walked to all my favorite hockey games. That would have been awesome. Another funny story about moving out for the first time. So my mom and my dad found me this beautiful apartment building like you'll see in the photos. And my new place is about 6 hours away from where my parents live. And I remember that last day looking out my window and my mom and dad are in the car and my mom's waving goodbye and they pull out of the parking lot and they go. And I remember standing there at the window going, oh my gosh, did they actually just leave me? Can I actually live on my own? Can I do this? I was freaking out because even though I so badly wanted to leave my house and to live on my own and to start my own life, could I actually do it? I was terrified. I had never, ever probably been on my own for longer than a few hours up until this point. So it was really scary for me. And I just remember watching my mom leave and I thought, oh my God, I'm actually by myself. Now, mind you, I wasn't really by myself. My aunt lived in this city, which thank goodness, because she took me grocery shopping every Friday and she invited me to her house every Sunday for dinner. So shout out to Auntie Gail. I probably would have starved in that first few years for sure if it wasn't for you. We did have a network of friends, very, very good family friends in Edmonton, which I could have called upon at any time and they could have come and helped me. And my brother did live in Edmonton as well. So, I mean, I wasn't alone, but I felt in that moment that I was truly alone. And then I remember 6 hours, 8 hours later, my mom called me from her house and I thought, ooh, I'm actually alone by myself. It was scary, but I was so ready for the challenge too. And I just thought, just take it one step at a time, quite literally. Okay, so things I wasn't prepared for. The transit system, like I previously mentioned, I don't know how to use it, whatever. I, up until this time, really had never cooked myself a meal in my life. And now I was expected to cook all my meals in a very nice kitchen, mind you, but I really didn't know how to cook. I was expected for the first time to do my own laundry. Funny story, it was a stackable laundry dryer, so the washing machine was here and the dryer was up here. Now I am a very short person, 5'1", 5'2" on a good day. I did not hit my growth spurt until I was in my 20s, so at this time I was even shorter, and nobody had told me about the dryer lint catch in the dryer. And so I didn't know it existed. I couldn't see it. I wasn't tall enough. Months after I moved into my new place, a friend came over and I was showing them my laundry room. He pulled up the laundry or the lint trap and it was like this thick of lint. Oh my goodness. I could have started a fire. Wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for the fact that people, for the first time in my life, well, people at school for the first time were curious about my disability and were staring. I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for always being on display because in high school, people didn't really care. It was just me. I wasn't prepared for how to make friends. I am a very introverted, shy person, and making friends for me is very difficult. And I'm not the sort of person just to go up to people and introduce myself and make a friend. So what I actually ended up doing was the smoking sections outside of the school. Those people always seemed very, very friendly. Now, please don't do what I did. It was a different time in 2004, but I took up smoking so that I could ask someone to light my cigarette for me, and then I could have a way to start a conversation with somebody. Probably not the smartest way to make friends, but it did work, and I did end up making friends mostly because the extroverted friend befriended me, but that's for another story. What else wasn't I prepared for? Let me just look here. Well, I guess that's all the things that I wasn't prepared for. Going to college and living on my own for the first time. Things that I wish I had done differently or that I had known about is I wish I had taken advantage of disability services. I didn't even know it existed at my school. Nobody ever told me. I didn't know that it was a thing. I probably could have had a lot more support and a lot more help if I looked into that. So if you're newly going into college, please, I'm pretty sure your campus has a disability support office. Check them out. Don't be shy. They're there to help you. I also wish I had known in that first year to space out my classes. I just wanted to be done the day as quickly as possible, so I would stack my classes back to back. Well, what I didn't realize in that first year was that you only had 10 minutes to get from each class to the next class. And sometimes the classes would be in a different building. So I would literally have to haul booty to another building so that I wouldn't be late for my class. Something I learned after that first year was take a class, take the next block off, take another class so you have plenty of time to get to your classes and you're not exhausted. One of the biggest things I wish I had done differently is I wish I hadn't taken studying so seriously. Now, college is serious. It is serious business. You're there to learn, yes, but it's also a time to grow and to find yourself. And I feel like people with disabilities oftentimes they have so much to prove to themselves and to everybody else that they just want to be the best that they can be and as studious as they can be. But I really regret now not going out and partying, not going out and making friends or going to the club as often because my nose was always stuck in a book. Yes, that's what college is about, is learning and things like that, but it's also about growing and finding yourself. And I wish I had done a little bit more of that at that time, because now in my 30s, going to clubs and things just isn't something that we do all that often. So yeah, that was my experience in my first year of college and moving out. And I learned a lot of things about myself in that time. And that first few months was very, very hard. I was very, very sad. If I didn't have a lease, I probably would have went home. But luckily I stuck it out. And you can too. Moving out can be very scary, but it's also very rewarding. And that first year of college, there's nothing like it. So I hope you found today's video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Like, share, and do all the things. And I'm going to end this video off with some photos of what the outside of my apartment building looked like, what my view looked like then and what it looks like now, and what the inside of my apartment looked like, as well as what Grant MacEwan University looks like. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.